Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop on these charts on this beautiful Tuesday, April 28th, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you always do your own research and make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top of Futures code RDF, Lucid, Bookmap, and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to note that, for you to do your own research, make your own decisions. I'm just under the wire, guys, for NYSE Open here. It's always something in the morning, man. I can't blame the commute, right? Because, like, I'm at my own office. I can't say there was traffic on the way in. There's always something, man. There's always some technical challenge. I'm going to have to leave like an extra hour ahead so we can just BS before NYSE Open. But we're going to get straight into it. Good morning, chat. What's going on? Dwayne, Ivan, Vincent, what's happening as we're pushing the upside into the open? Send the trader afters. Sloth on kick. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let's talk markets, man. Let's talk markets. Yeah, we're live. We're good. Everything looks good. Okay. Quality looks good. God, man. Always something. All right. Maybe it's a byproduct of me trying to do too much. We're here on YM on the 15-minute chart on TradingView. If you're new, welcome to the show. Going to be trading some 50K Lucid Flex accounts. Took another payout from one yesterday. Albeit we had a pretty choppy back and forth session. This was New York session. These levels did play out really, really nicely. Just too tight for me. Just too tight for me to get involved. I was watching down here. I was watching up here. Not quite enough for me. And again, if you look at the range that we put in, like, I don't know that I would have captured a really nice movement unless I was running a really tight stop, which I traditionally am not. So, today, we're going to run the same damn play. Mean reversion style trade on YM into the open if I can get it. Just taking a look at ES and NQ. NQ and ES selling off. I did note that this morning. Continuing this downtrend right into the open. We caught a little bit of rejection. Oh, look at that. The magical level playing out. Big surprise. We found buyers off of an area of high volume and consolidation. Big surprise. Divergence out of these. YM living in its own world as per usual. Par for the course, as they say. Yeah, just to frame out initial trades before we talk news, before we talk scheduled news events, headlines, everything in between. You know, what am I looking for today? We already broke above. Where are my volume profile? Excuse me, guys. Hang on one second. See what I'm saying? It's always something, bro. Always something. There we go. Try not to mess this up. Okay, let's talk. Let's talk. We know what we got going on from a higher time frame. If you don't, we'll zoom out in a little bit. Very choppy overall. You can see week over week, a lot of consolidation here. Failing to get back below these lows, so I do like the longs. Looking at today's price action coming into this open, we cracked prior day high right here. We've tested this potential resistance zone that we're still finding resistance at multiple times. We did not quite crack pre-market high, which is right here off this 7 a.m. candle here on YM. We did pop to the upside, came right back down through VWAP, and now we are right where we were yesterday, sitting back at VWAP. Overnight session overall bullish, not at all what NQ did, which is important to note, not at all what NQ did. Slightly bullish in the overnight session, albeit pretty choppy and a tight range. Like, we really haven't got a lot of movement here at all. This is 231 points. This is very low volatility and range being set relative to what YM can do. So I think we could get some movement. But again, we are ahead of FOMC tomorrow at 2 p.m. and the 2:30 p.m. press conference. So we'll talk about that news in a second. Today, I would still prefer the longs over the shorts just in general in this market and out of this zone, and based on this price action and market structure, I still would really prefer the longs over the shorts like I talked about yesterday. Where would I be looking short on this thing for the mean reversion style play? I don't like that we didn't pop off the open. YM's just not been fantastic for me to work with, at least for the opening range. Probably in here for a short. That would give me a way to structure risk. I'm gonna say like the 620s. That would give me a way to structure risk off of this area of high volume. I think we are likely to come outside of it and blast towards not all-time highs, but current highs, or revert right back down, which is what I would be trading for. To the downside for a long, I think we could just wick in here today and then take off. You know, we did test this area yesterday. Do I want it off of pre-market lows or prior day low, right? You know, that's going to be the question here. This would be pre-market low, which I don't think I want it off of. Where are the longs in play? This would be, is this our pre-market low? Yes, it's our pre-market low. 49,320s is the low from Asia London. Yeah, below that level, at very least below that level, but also keeping an eye on this zone down below. And yesterday's low. Excuse me. Yeah, so I don't have perfect areas where I would like to get long or short on this. Just to clarify, guys, my trade obviously on YM. If you're new, it's not obvious. It's a mean reversion reversal style trade off of an extreme back towards the middle of the zone, the range, the chop, the trend, right? Not a continuation, which would be a breakout style trade. We're pushing lower, I'm selling, right? On YM, we're pushing lower off of an area of interest, and with all the other, you know, things that I utilize in my trading, I'm looking to buy, right? Buy that back up. So today, I'm going to say above yesterday's high, above pre-market highs, longs are in play. Let's put this at the 600s just for a nice round psychological number. 49,600s. Man, if we come all the way down here, I do think we're pushing lower, to be completely honest. We got a really nice round psychological number all the way down here off the 49,000 evens. That would be a wick below down in this range. But outside of this area of high volume, right, if I zoom out a ton on the 15-minute, I wouldn't mind it to buy it back up here. So I'm going to say longs in play down below 320s. Down below 320s. Probably 300s. Let's actually just do this. Make it nice and easy for everybody. Looking at 49,300s. Down below that level for potential longs. Above the 600s for potential shorts. Yeah, this is getting choppy in here, man. Which is fine, right? I'll trade in the chop. Like that's okay. But this is getting tighter and tighter chop, right? You know, look at these daily ranges. We're coming off of much larger average daily ranges, 800 points, 600-ish points, right? 650-ish points, and then look at what we're starting to do. 360. Super tight yesterday. 337. You know, look where we're at now. We're getting tighter and tighter and tighter. 231. I do think we're likely to expand, right? As price contracts. The analogy that a lot of analysts or traders or idiots on YouTube like me will say is it's like a spring, right? As it contracts, you get that spring motion to blast off, right? You see that in wedge patterns that start to form. You can just see that over and over again, pattern that kind of repeats itself on the chart. We don't stay chopping in one place for forever, right? Especially in headline markets. So that's roughly what I'm looking at, guys. I'd have to see what happens as we come lower, down below pre-market lows. It's a risky play getting involved above this level, right? Kind of like yesterday. If you got involved right here, we came all the way down first. But I am curious for what this move to the downside could look like. I do have a long bias today. I think it's pretty obvious that most people are carrying a long bias. I think we could just take off from here. I don't know that we have to sweep lower. We had a bullish overnight session. We do not care what ES and YM and NQ are doing. We're above VWAP. We continue to try to push highs. We tested VWAP. Sellers are not letting us take this thing lower yet. So I think we could start taking off from here. I don't know that I want to be the first person to short this thing. I don't want to be the first person to short this thing. But off of this area of interest up here is interesting, right? We get above that, I think we're blasting higher. Yeah, this is giving me some tough structure to work with this week, though. This is giving me some tough structure to work with this week. It's all good. We'll make it happen. So up above the 600s, interested. Down below the 300s, interested. Until then, spirit fingers. Don't do anything stupid, right? Is what I tell myself. Now let's take a look at news. Let's talk about this real quick. Let's take a look at news. My favorite financial news site, partnered and affiliated with these guys. They are epic. This is News Squawk. If you want to check out News Squawk, how I get news faster than everybody else here on YouTube and anywhere else you see streaming, unless they're using News Squawk or one of their competitors, which are very few. You can check this out. Let me throw this link in the chat. Bang. You can try these guys for $19.99 for 7 days. It's a real-time news feed. Again, faster than what you see from almost every other feed. It is paid. I can only stream this for a short amount of time, as they are not going to let me stream it for forever. I'm watching ES start to push to the upside here. Why I'm not doing anything too crazy. A couple headlines coming out. First off, scheduled news. We don't really have anything. I can go over here and go for high impact. This is light. Technically consumer confidence. 10 a.m. That's light. We really don't have anything too crazy until tomorrow when we have the Fed rate, right? Fed rate, interest decision, and then the conference, right? This is Jay Powell getting ready to send everybody's portfolios to hell, okay? So not too much today. Again, like yesterday, reasonable to believe or have maybe a little bit of a low expectation that the market consolidates, chops ahead of that high impact news, right? I'm not surprised in the price action yesterday, and I won't be surprised today if we don't do Jack SHIT. If you trade for long enough, or you just go back and you look at the charts, what does the day or two before FOMC look like, right? You do that homework and decide for yourself. And then maybe you say, hey, Zach, no, I think it's a huge trend day. And I say, I don't know what chart you're looking at, but anything can happen at any time. We are trading headline markets, right? It is really important to note that. Just kind of clearing some of these, but we got some of the big headlines that were coming in. Coming into today, they were essentially saying, Trump commenting that he's not happy with what's going on so far, and kind of more uncertainty, maybe a little bit, unhappiness, or I don't know how you describe this stuff because it's so back and forth. But here's what we got coming in this morning, right? This was 9:29. Trump says Iran has just informed us that they are in a state of collapse. They want us to open the strait as soon as possible as they try to figure out the leadership situation. So that's a It's a True Social post. You know, again, we're really dealing with Trump comments for the most part on this. And then as well as headlines that are coming out of, you know, the other side as well. But this is super helpful if you want to stay up on what's going on. Extremely helpful for that. So many other things in here. I'm not going to do a full tutorial on it. We can listen to some squawk together maybe later as some headlines are coming in. But the big claim to fame is even before it prints anywhere, these guys are waiting to read it alive. Humans, not AI. Behind a trading desk, or a news desk, I guess, to give you guys news faster than everyone else. So pretty cool, pretty helpful. News Squawk. If you want to check it out, 20% off with code RDF. You can try it for 7 days for $19.99 and then decide if it's for you or not. It is a paid service. It is not cheap. What they do, obviously, requires a lot. And, you know, to try to gain an edge like that, it's definitely not cheap. But there's money on the line here. I'm going for the best stuff. As always, I'm going to try to give you guys the best stuff. So, overall, my thoughts, just general speculation, which I'm not a huge fan of doing, but, you know, general speculation coming into today. Tuesday before FOMC, no news Monday, very light news Tuesday with consumer confidence. Headline markets that were very calm yesterday, relatively calm over the weekend. I think we chop. We have a high potential for chop or maybe a drifty trend unless and until we catch a big headline, we get an update. And it seems like they might be getting started with 929, you know, True Social posts. That's sometimes not the last comment that we're going to get. So unless and until we get a big headline, which really creates some volatility, I don't know that we got a lot of movement. If it's a really market moving headline that's going to push us in one direction, maybe we catch a big movement. If not, I think it's a lot of what we saw over the last couple of weeks where we get that really big wiki back and forth, that immediate wick and then, you know, reaction, right? You know, this kind of stuff, right? This SHIT right here, right? Bam, bam. Really wiki back and forth movement. Again, overall, just to talk the divergence here on US indices, NQ and ES have sold off through Asia and London. They are down below yesterday's low, getting ready to test Friday's low. YM really not doing that. So I think it is important to note, as a lot of you guys are probably trading NQ and ES, I'm looking at something very different here from a structure price action perspective. They usually do not stay uncorrelated, right, for very long. Usually one catches up to the other, but I don't trade them in correlation or lack thereof. I'm just making notes for you guys. I do trade NQ as well, but I really try to focus up here on what's paying me best for NYSE Open, YM. So, 9:46, that's my analysis coming into today. I was worried about the time, but I didn't really need a lot of time because we haven't done anything. We're just sitting back at VWAP here. Again, low expectations. I'm not going to get frustrated today. I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm not going to get involved and be on the wrong, or, you know, be structured poorly with a terrible invalidation point on the wrong side of a Trump comment or another True Social post. I'm going to wait patiently for my areas of interest to be hit, read price action, market structure, put my trades on. That's my game plan, guys. That's my game plan. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys for being here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Maritimes, My Cuisine, what's up? 30MD30, what's up? Purple Ninja, Mike, For a Break, good morning, good morning. Hi, what's happening? Johnny, Dwayne, what's going on? Like and subscribe, guys. You know the drill. Smash the like button. We will, maybe we'll run a giveaway. You know what? We didn't do one yesterday. Chat, you guys let me know. What do you think? What do you think? How many likes for a giveaway today, guys? I think we do a giveaway later today. We get somebody funded. If you want that, smash the like button. Start smashing the like button. Start running it up. I'll let you guys know early. We got 50 people on here and 10 likes. If you guys want some giveaways, start smashing the like button. Sloth, what's up on Kick, guys? What's up on Kick? I'm sure we got some other ones on there. The OGs, Kobe, and others. Got my profit on NQ. Push back to VWAP. Done for the day. Nice. Nice. Sloth, an OG here on almost all of the live streams. Beautiful. Beautiful play. Beautiful play. Caught it right in here, or anywhere on the push right back to VWAP. Classic. Classic. This is a really interesting movement. Really interesting movement. Nice. Very nice. There we go. Yeah, we like giveaways, guys. We're going to run them. We're going to run one. We'll run a giveaway in a little bit, guys. Smash the like button. Let's say, I'll just throw it out now. Let's say 100 likes. We're 10 minutes into the stream, or 20 minutes into the stream. 100 likes. When you guys hit 100 likes, we'll get somebody funded with a Top 1 Futures account. Shout out Top 1 Futures. If you guys want to check out all of the prop firms that I'm trading with, the links, the discounts, all the tools that I use, links are pinned in the chat. Links are pinned to the top of the chat. Good morning, Gus. What's up? At least some decent directional movement on NQ, unlike yesterday. Yeah, we got some directional movement on NQ for sure. Somebody asked about VWAP. I'll talk about that in a second. Curious to see what happens here, right? Do we find buyers here and, reverse this move? I'm sure we're going to see a lot of traders, looking for that into the open. I'm guessing also some of them will be looking, if we come back down through these lows after testing VWAP, to sell this thing. So we definitely have some movement on NQ. Not just... This was just like nothing yesterday. A lot of people got chopped up. My timeline was straight red yesterday. Very easily predictable, right? We're coming off of a huge move to the upside. This is going to now entice longs, long only. All you had to do was buy, right, on a lot of these days. And then you get a day like this, right? And what happens? You get everybody pulling the same move. Okay, we dip to the downside, we're pulling back up, buy. Okay, we dip to the downside, we're pulling back up, buy. And then what happens? Drift lower, drift lower, drift lower, take everybody out. And then even if you did buy, maybe, maybe a little bit of a move to the upside. But overall, choppy back and forth, right? Like, this is pretty nasty to work with. I think this is, would have trapped a lot of traders. And I think it's a reason that I saw, so many. I appreciate everybody that shares their stuff online, that, that talks. It's interesting. You can kind of get a feel and anticipate, what it's going to look like based on price action and structure. So we had questions. What were we talking about, guys? Smash the like button. You know it. What was the question? Oh, settings for VWAP. Sorry. There we go. Thank you. I was trying to find that one. Here's my settings for VWAP. Standard. Completely standard settings for VWAP. We'll do the chart setup real quick, guys. Everybody pay attention for a second, and we'll do the chart setup. Standard settings for VWAP. Only thing I have different is the color. No upper and lower bands. It resets at session changeover, which is the standard indicator for VWAP. Other tools I have on my chart. Visible range volume profile. A couple different settings on here. We have it moved over a little bit to the right-hand side. We have some colors changed, which are not settings. Inputs at 200. That makes the rows smaller. Okay, more granular view. Same thing over here on session volume profile, SVP. Row size increased to 200. That's it. I have this one stock at 30%. And then colors are the same. Just, kind of monotone colors, right? Point of control is the only one I have extending. I don't have value area high, value area low. Outside of that, traditional volume down here on the bottom with just, again, very light colored gray, green and red volume. And that would be it. Those are the 4 volume tools on my chart. Outside of that, raw price action and market structure. Plain white background. Candlestick colors if you really wanted to take a look at them. I could give you the actual colors at maybe in Discord or something, but black outline, black wicks, completely white, you know, darker gray. And then some zones, some discretionary levels. That's the magic tools, which are not magic at all. Getting some headlines coming in here, guys. Iran's army representative states the war is not over and updates on armed force objectives and equipment have been made. Okay, so they're poking the bear a little bit with that. Did not consider the war to be over. The situation is still considered a war. So Iranian media is throwing some of that stuff out there. That's a little bit dicey. For sure. No pressure. Yeah, if you guys have questions on, you know, charts, tools that I'm using, setup, please let me know. I make a ton of videos if you're here on YouTube or if you're watching from Kick or X. On my YouTube, Real Deal Futures, I do a ton of tutorials. I'm going to do way more tutorials on News Squawk, on Bookmap, on TradeSyncer. Those are the 3 tools that I'm partnered with. Coming back to get some copy trading in on TradeSyncer, which I'm excited about as well. I have a ton of videos on this stuff. If I have a video on something that you're asking about, I might tell you to just go watch the video because the video probably does a better job of it, of explaining it. But feel free. I'm happy to talk about trading, happy to talk about charts, markets, prop firms, tools, pretty much everything to do with trading. I try not to just yap about drama because it does not fill my cup, and I don't think it fills many others' cups, although it certainly gets clicks. Not my style. I'll make some funny reels and jokes like I did about guys complaining about top step changes. But yeah, if you guys got questions, feel free to ask in the chat as we're watching this market start to drift lower here. Curious to see. Curious to see what we're going to get out of these markets today. Beautiful rejection off of VWAP on NQ. Very clean rejection off of VWAP on NQ and ES. Serious. Whoa, not 1 month. That's not what I meant to go to. Man, crispy clean. Very choppy so far, as you can see on the 1 minute chart. Dear Lord. Very choppy. Not giving me much to work with yet, guys. I've got my areas of interest marked out. Not giving me much to work with yet. Good morning. What's up, Vertigo? What's happening, guys? What's happening? What's happening? Good morning, Z. What's up? Do you find the day before FOMC usually very flat and uneventful? Yes. Yes, I do. I typically find, like we talked about at the start of the live, we talked about the news, we talked about what's coming up, scheduled news events. In general, because I am very discretionary, and I do believe that anything can happen at any time. And if you just write off every trading day because you have some reason that it's not going to be a good day, you'll end up never watching the charts and never trading. But in general, before major high-impact scheduled news events like FOMC tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern and the corresponding press conference at 2:30 p.m., the day before and maybe the no news Monday before that, we often see chop. We often see uneventful, flat, lower volume, right? Lower volatility. And that makes sense. It's market participants displaying through their actions that they are anticipating that rate. They would rather get involved after that rate, right? A lot of times you do get positioning before, just like earnings or other high impact events, right? You have, maybe a forecast being made, a prediction, and then you have positioning based on that, right? Wanting to take on risk. But a lot of times we get chop. A lot of times we get anticipation. Market participants say, well, we're about to get some craziness. We're about to see what's going on, and that's going to give you a better outlook, and I'm going to wait for that to happen. That's at least the thesis behind why price might move one way or another, ahead of those events. That doesn't even matter. Forget that, underlying story that we maybe create for ourselves. Who cares? Price often chops on low volume, low volatility ahead of FOMC. Does that mean that every day before FOMC is going to be a choppy, low volume day? Absolutely not, right? Which is why I started with what I said. I'm here trading, right? Waiting for the move, to happen. We have no idea what's going to happen today, right? Trump or Iran could come out, some major conflict could escalate, tensions, something could happen, a million other things in the world could happen, and the market could start to put the biggest trading day of the year in, right? We don't know. We don't know. So, but in general, you could create some, let's say, mild biases. Here we come into 10 a.m. here, guys, for consumer confidence. This is technically a medium impact news event. News Squawk has it marked as high. I saw some of the other sites have it marked as medium. It's not traditionally a huge market mover, but you can see liquidity get pulled off of the book on Bookmap. Get a little bit dark as the algos get flipped off, and waiting for the initial reaction to this number. But yes, in general, yes. But again, I like to grain of salt it, right? So how do I use that? Mild biases. Mild, meaning I don't come to the market and I go, okay, higher time frame, bullish, right? And then, lower time frame this, and then zone here, zone there. I'm only looking for buys today. That would be creating a daily bias that would keep you, one direction, right? I don't do that. I did talk about liking longs more than shorts. I talked about, expectations, right? Reasonable expectations, which I think can help for entries, stop placement, targets. You're going to be wrong sometimes, which is really important to note. Market's going to do whatever it wants to do, but you could create some big general patterns around, the news cycle and around headlines that are, that are coming in. In the past, I really like to just discredit everything. I just don't feel that I can do that anymore with the context of the way the markets are moving on headlines. Just it's not really reasonable to try to do that. So low expectations, yesterday and today, it makes for a tough week, right? Because fairly low expectations coming into the news event, unless you want to trade the news. Trading after 2 p.m. tomorrow is going to be dicey. What do you wait for Thursday to start trading, right? No. So, it makes for a tough week, but we're here trading, keeping expectations mild, right? Market's been ripping. Try not to do anything too stupid. Take what the market gives us. That's the play. Thank you, of course. Nice work, Mike. What do we got? 5 days, 5 green days, just under payout threshold. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Very nice. I've consistently locked out my funded early from being flustered. Oh, well, green is green. Yeah. Mike, I think you've said that a couple times. You're always in here, man. Appreciate you being here. Don't feel bad about doing that, in my humble opinion. I think locking yourself out, if you know you have a problem, if you know you have an Achilles heel of blowing up, of continue to trade, I think locking out green, nothing wrong with that, man. Even if you continue to watch the market and you say, there was more opportunity for me. Maybe, right? We don't know exactly how that would have played out if you had the ability to trade. But there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you know what? After a trade or two, green, red, or one or the other, I start to jack things up. Locking yourself out and getting off the charts. There's nothing wrong with that. You start to build that discipline to kind of just tone it down, wait patiently for your couple trades to come, and then to not continue on and do what so many traders do and just blow up, right? Just stay on and jack things up for themselves. Let's see. Well done, Mike. Yeah, nice. You guys are so supportive of each other. I love it. So watching this market continue to turn to the downside here, I'm not minding the longs, guys. If we can get a little bit lower, like I talked about, we're not quite at my area of interest yet. I am fearful that we get a day like yesterday. I don't want to have hindsight bias. I don't want to get too involved too quickly and say, oh, we're just going to chop really, really lightly right around VWAP, so start scalping like crazy and end up putting on trades way too early, way too quick with poor invalidation points. But I wouldn't mind something. Wouldn't mind something if we came a little bit closer down here. Something along these lines. Might even be able to get a little bit tighter with stops and targets on something like this. Since we're dealing with such low volatility. Might even be able to run something like that. Right back to volume point of control. That's what I'm starting to eyeball here, guys, just to give you what I'm looking at. Longs off of this area of consolidation, right? We kind of got two interesting spots, right? We got up here, obviously. We got up here, where I have this line drawn, right? The low end of this volume profile right here. All of this consolidation in here. And then we got this zone down here, right? Where I got this drawn. All of these wicks down here, right? Yesterday, bang, bang, bang. I start to get involved up here. I'm not going to survive a wick in here. If I wait for a wick in here, that might not come. And, you know, we just pop right back up. Kind of like we did yesterday. Albeit we started lower and we came down to hit this. So that's my scribbling on the chart just to kind of show you what I'm looking at here. So eyeballing below the 300s for a potential long. Let's get that set back up. Yeah, we could run something like that. Could run something like that. Maybe this is all we get, right? You know, maybe this is all we get and we go right back to VWAP. If we really start this super duper tight chop, it's not going to give me much to work with. Pre-market low right here. We didn't hit that just yet. We're already turning right back up. It's going to be interesting to see. But that's okay, man. You know, you have to try to remember what we're here to do, guys. Here's what I was thinking about yesterday. After the no trade session. A little frustrated. I don't like not trading on the live with you guys. I really don't. I don't like sitting around and watching the market and then not putting trades on. And that's what I did most of yesterday. I logged a couple flip days and that was really it. You know, no real big trading. But our job here is to wait for the market conditions to shift in our favor, or for us to at least believe the market conditions have shifted in our favor. Kind of like during a game. I don't love to equate trading to gambling, but to a degree there's a lot of similarities, and some would say trading is just gambling. If you believe placing a wager on an uncertain outcome is gambling. But kind of like if you were sitting at the blackjack table, right? And you don't have to bet at all. Imagine this, before you get dealt your cards. You don't have to put any money on the table at all. And you get dealt cards first. And you can wait until a good set of cards show up, right? Now, you still don't know if the dealer's going to have blackjack and you're going to get cooked. And that's going to happen sometimes, even if you have an 18, 19, or 20 and you waited to bet. But if that was the case in blackjack, you probably wouldn't continue to bet before you saw what your cards are, right? Just because you're pressed for time and you want to make money. Another analogy. It's kind of like watching a horse race, all right? And this is somebody else's that I used to work with and, you know, I made a couple videos on from years ago. Imagine instead of having to bet at the start of a horse race on your favorite horse, you could wait until the race was 3/4 of the way over before you start betting, right? That's what we can do in the market. Now, you could get excited and go, oh man, this is the guy, he's going to win. And then you bet, as soon as the race starts. But you don't have to do that. You can wait until the race is 3/4 of the way over and you got a really good indication of who's going to win. Does that guarantee you the person's going to win? Absolutely not. That horse is going to, fall off into the finish line, a handful of times, just like in trading, no matter, how much things align, we're still going to take losses. But it's important to remember to keep yourself patient until the market sets up for you, until you believe you have an advantage, right? Yesterday, what I saw in my timeline was a lot of traders that continued to bet before the cards came out, continued to bet at the start of the horse race, and they just lost money. They didn't have to, right? NQ chopped, YM chopped, and they just burned money. And it comes from, lack of discipline, lack of patience, this desire to make money, and it's frustrating. It sucks to sit here and not click buttons, right? But if you watched a lot of guys' live sessions yesterday, because I saw a lot after the fact, it was a lot of them clicking buttons. It was entertaining. And a lot of losses, a whole lot of losses, okay? So remember that. And you're not always going to get dealt good hands. Sometimes you're just going to get dealt trash back to back to back. How patient can you stay, right? How patient can you stay waiting for that big setup, right? Like, again, looking at NQ, I was really impressed with how many guys were able to be patiently waiting for this to happen, right? They stayed alive through this. The big trend traders, they stayed alive through hot garbage in here. And they were ready to put trades on. They didn't do jack SHIT. They were quiet. I didn't see a lot out of them at all. Couple small losses, not doing anything. They said, red months, break even months. And then what did some of those guys do here? Pressed it hard. Man, if you are blowing through capital here, constantly trading for the breakout, and you never take your foot off the gas, and instead of just waiting for this to start to happen and then go, okay, I'm going to start pressing it now, you're never available for this, right? And again, maybe this is horrible for you, and maybe you're a range trader and you're waiting for this to happen, right? But, and this is just kind of a generalization here, but a lot of trading is surviving. The longer I go, the more I realize this. A lot of trading is surviving. A lot of trading is how good can you read the market and how well can you identify when your setup is there and when your setup is not there. How good are you at identifying that there's no trade for me? If you're not good at that, you're going to burn capital when you don't need to. And you won't have that capital to put risk on and then even more risk on, right? Really press it, when the market's setting up for you. So that's something that I really am attempting to get better and better and better at. Trade management is always challenging, trying to get the most out of all of your trades, manage them to the best of your abilities. But man, identifying when the market is just not setting up for me and when I need to be patient, and identifying, when the market is giving me a lot of beautiful setups and when to press it, when to put more risk on. It's quite different for YM and NQ for what I do on both of them. But it's clear. And the hindsight will always show you. So think about that, guys. It's not fun. It's not what traders want to hear. It's the show me the secret strategy where I could take 20 trades every day and make $400. Not how this works. It's not how this works. Focus on survival first. Dwayne, what's up? Just annoying. I fight the junk. And then the easy trade pops out. I got you. Don't like that. Let me take positive good ones will come. For sure. Trade, not just the move. Not the same. Nice to get locked and green and funded, but I know what you mean about missed opportunities. For sure. Can you manually lock out on the Trade of 8 app? You can. You can manually lock out on the Trade of 8 app. There's some workarounds, or there at least were some workarounds in the past, but you can manually lock out on Trade of 8. You could also set risk settings, which I would encourage all of you to do on Trade of 8. You can set a liquidate and lockout position. I don't know if you're still able to go back in and change it, but at very least that'll take your ass out of a position that you don't mean to be in. I have them set on a couple of bigger accounts. Excuse me, I don't know if I have anything set. Oh, no, I have one set. I have one set on one account. Now I'm remembering. more of an emergency. You know, let's say you're in a trade or you forget something, right? You forget a take profit, a stop loss that gets hit. You know, it can run indefinitely to blow the account without a take profit or stop loss. So having a risk setting in there to liquidate with a max, daily risk, I think is important. You know, whatever the most amount you want to lose is, throw that number in there and protect yourself. So all it takes is one accidental click of a button you might not even have known. You know, you could click the DOM, which I've done before on Trade-Evade accidentally. I don't even realize. Here we go, guys. Started to finally get some movement out of this market to the downside. We're hitting the 300s here. I'm curious to see if we let go. I'm looking at a long in here, guys. Down below pre-market low. Just waiting to see if we get a nice crack to the downside out of this. I don't want to front run it too quickly. Ooh, that's really aggressive. Don't know if we're just going to absolutely rip faces off to the downside. Waiting a second here. This is really nasty. Looks like it might be a headline. How bad do I want the longs? I'm taking it from in here, guys. I'm taking it from in here. This is dicey, though. I'm long 2 from 271. I'm buying into selling pressure. We could rip faces to the downside here, and this might be a really, really aggressive L. If we come lower really aggressively, I'm going to take the stop, and I'm going to look for it on another account. But I did want to see this 300 level get hit. We came outside of this area of high volume. I'm looking for the buys off of these lows now, off of these lows right here, right back up to this area of high volume. Take profit is just arbitrary, way outside. But I'm buying into selling pressure without waiting for, any kind of candlestick closure, confirmation, or any of that BS. This was pretty aggressive. Did we get it on NQ? We're starting to get it on NQ. Starting to get it on ES. Again, aggressive long, guys. But waiting for my setups to come and putting them on without reservation or hesitation, right? Again, I got more I'll also note this on the risk that I'm starting to take here. I'm trading 2 minis here. This is, under a $1,500 L. I got more prop accounts across more firms that are doing better. I'm getting ready to copy trade more of them, but I'm trading them individually here. So I will give myself at least a couple really aggressive trades across multiple accounts when they come. If there's no trade for me like yesterday, I don't do jack anything, and I just sit around and watch the market, right? I have a flip day on all of them if I need them. Not all of them have minimum trading days and things like that, but I will try to get a $150, $200 day, whatever's required in. But this is going to be my trade for this one. Again, I really want to acknowledge, I think this is going to be a really beautiful long that's going to get bought right back up to VWAP, or this is going to aggressively rip my face off, which is kind of what I like to happen. I like to be really dead wrong or really right. I don't love to be caught in chop. I prefer a quick stop or a quicker take profit. So again, long, my initial area of interest was below the 300s, below pre-market lows, right? Just looking at basic price action and market structure and volume profile, which are the tools that I use. We cracked down really aggressively, cracked that pre-market low, did not hit prior day low. Talked about taking it in here and putting a stop in here as a risk. This is not a bad setup if we came all the way lower here, right? All the way near my stop loss, which I don't love, to say, hey, you know what? We're going to come all the way lower like we did here, 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 here. I'm going to buy off the absolute bottom of this. If we start to break and close below here, I think we're coming all the way down here, right? But my thesis is that we don't come down here at all. We pop right back up. So that's my play, chat. That's my play. Again, if I've got to try to challenge myself to take more trades if they come. If I take an L on this one here, again, trading multiple props, I'm going to swap right over probably to another Lucid 50K, maybe a Take Profit Pro account. and look for a follow-up. And today could be one for another really aggressive long. Another really aggressive long if we sold off really aggressively. Now, this could definitely be the market turn into the downside. We could get some selling pressure. We could be shaking out weak longs, which I would be today, ahead of FOMC, right? You know, there is a little peak down here where I have my stop loss, but obviously I don't have the ability to do something like that, which would be a really clean invalidation point, you know, just unless I ran something, you know, incredibly small. So that's the play, chat. That's the play, and I'm sticking to it. We ran into buyers here so far. We did stop on a dime and start to chop there. We didn't just absolutely continue lower. Again, I bought right into this. Let's see if we start to catch a pop back up. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. ES coming a bit lower, NQ coming a bit lower. Let us see. It was not a major headline, at least from what I'm reading. There's quite a bit. We got a lot of earnings this week as well. A ton of earnings coming up, so we could see positioning there. But it looks like we just got some individual equities news getting read out. Shellco, JetBlue, Pfizer. A couple of those getting thrown across the news desk. But yeah, that's what we got going on. That's what we got going on. Yeah, so again, my approach, just to talk about this a little bit more, guys, my approach to trading props is very different than trading live. I talked about doing a bigger write-up on this. I'm aggressively trading sim accounts, really aggressively trading sim accounts, right? Risking ruin, losing evals and funded accounts, because that's what's required to put up larger payouts, larger and more frequent payouts. I'm going to talk about that. A lot of traders don't want to talk about that. Firms don't want to talk about that. But it's definitely not the same as what you saw me do in the Top 1 Futures live account, for example, that I traded for a long period of time, or personal live accounts, right? You're just not going to take on, you know, the risk. The trading is also going to be likely different. But for me, what's been working really well since I went on this aggressive prop runs, really starting in February, I started to load up on a bunch of accounts, is trading multiple accounts across multiple firms individually, not copy trading them. If I do copy trade them in small batches, very small batches, not all together, and extremely aggressive through evals for me is what I'm comfortable with, and then very aggressive in funded accounts. And what I mean by that, and that means that's different things to everybody. What I mean by that is waiting patiently, right, for good trades on YM, on NQ, on whatever I'm trading, and when they show up, put a big trade on. Right, put you know, a fuller risk trade on. If I'm on a 50K, $1,000 or $2,000, right, 50% or 100% of the DLL, of the MLL, right, and potentially, you know, put an account immediately into payout territory, max payout territory, or lose it, right, and then you have, you know, a dozen different accounts that you're doing that with. In between all of that, like a day like yesterday, and you know, all the accounts that I'm not trading, I try to get a little scalpy trade in if I can. I try to get a flip day in. Most of the accounts that I trade have minimum trading days for evals and for payouts and in between. So you're forced to trade, you know, to a degree, or not take a payout. So that's kind of been my approach. It's been working really well. And what I'm doing here with you guys in the live session is waiting for those good trades to come and then putting them on, you know, really aggressively. I will say, I need to get a little bit more efficient with taking more trades if I can, these bigger, larger trades. So I will attempt to do that on YM off of the open. I usually only get one, maybe two good setups on YM, at least like into the open for the time that I'm trading with you guys. So I'll attempt to do that maybe with one or two accounts. Into the afternoon, midday, you know, maybe pre-market, overnight session, NQ is what I try to look at. But it's been, you know, after the big run up, you know, last couple weeks, it's been a little bit choppy on NQ, so I really haven't had too much. But that's the approach. That's the approach. On live accounts, there is no, you know, stupid flip days, stupid scalping. It's just waiting for the really good opportunities, or what I feel is a really good opportunity, putting risk on and you know, letting it play out. Not putting 50% or 100% of the account on like we're doing with prop firms here. But yeah, I'm going to talk more about that. I started to talk more about the prop firm problem, for lack of a better term.
3, 2, 1.
Now that we get a trade on, I'm going to let this play out for a second, guys. Be right back. I'm going to grab a water. We could definitely start to pop here. Yeah, no, I can't go anywhere yet. I can't go anywhere yet. Beautiful rejection. Beautiful rejection. Let's go. Let's go, Chatty McChat. Immediately coming off the lows. Very, very, very nice. Not a ton by way of points. Not even at 100 points just yet. But right back up to this temporary volume point of control. This could be a problem in here, guys. This could be a problem. If we're going to sell off, this could be a really nice break and retest. Prior lows, high time frame, moderate time frame, broken in a downtrend. Pre-market lows here, pre-market lows here. Area of high volume. This definitely could be a problem. If you're looking for that super scalpy trade, and maybe you took a trade with a much tighter stop loss, and something like this provides you a beautiful risk to reward, you know, maybe that's your play right there. That's it. You know, $600 in the bank. Very little heat. I got to hold on to this one for a bit more. I'm not looking to take it off just yet. I'd love a move back up towards VWAP, maybe even below, would give me, can I get 150-ish points out of this? Yeah, that would be beautiful. Right into VWAP for over a 1-to-1, 150-ish points. Let's see if patience is gonna pay me today, Chatty McChat. Or if we're gonna get a headline and, you know, and reject in here. Or if we're just naturally gonna reject and come lower, right? You know, really important to note, as we're coming lower, we often pop back up to the upside. You know, I'm holding for a bit more of a reversion to this middle ground up here. You know, this middle ground up here. But again, this low end could definitely be a problem. Could definitely be a problem, right? This temporary volume point of control. Nice, coming off those lows. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to grab some water. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see. Let's see. We got the juice? We got the juice today, chat, or what? Do we have the juice today? Give me 100 points out of this. Give me 100 points out of this, and I won't be greedy. What are we going to run into ahead of this? 400s could definitely be a problem. Just taking a look at trade management to the upside. 400s could definitely be a problem. I don't need a huge reversal. I don't need this to turn around and flip into a bullish candle. I just do need a little bit more than this. Need a little bit more than this. Now, again, we could just be reloading for the push lower. Could absolutely be reloading for the push lower. I like to make the other side of the case for the other side of my trade as I'm in it. Definitely important to note. Just because we got a nice reaction doesn't mean it's a W unless you close the trade, right? So definitely important to note that. But for now, I'm going to hang on to this one. Really, really nice entry, at least for what I like to see for an entry. Nice rejection. Really nice rejection so far. Looking at order flow, nothing too scary outside of the 400s, which could be an issue. Looking at the chart, like we said, this could absolutely be a problem. It's turning into a problem right now. It's turning into a problem. For me, no stop loss to break even yet. Not enough for me to do that. I will allow this one to be a full loss. That's just part of my approach, part of what I find works best for me personally over a large sample size. As we start to reject a little bit up here, yeah, let's see. Let's see if structure is going to be an issue, if we are actually going to push lower. We had buyers try to defend that level really, really nicely, but we might not have it in us. Might not have it in us today. I would have loved to see that continue just a little bit more, giving me the quick W. I think on another day that does, right? You know, trading game of inches here. On another day, we catch, you know, an immediate reversion like this. And this just gives me a little bit more close to VWAP, you know, close to the 400s. And, you know, we catch the W by sweeping this, prior bar high. We might not get that today, right? Even if we were going to come lower. Might not get that today. But overall, whether or not this one plays out to be a winner back towards VWAP or a loser, critiquing it off the bat, really like my entry. Really like how I didn't get long immediately at the 300s. Waited for that aggressive push lower. Bought into aggressive selling pressure, which is part of my approach, right? Part of how I trade YM. Not too aggressive by getting involved off pre-market lows. Not waiting for this to happen all the way down here, because this is really a nice clean and validation point now. Now that we rejected here, if we come lower, it's just, you know, I don't want to be long down here at all. So, grading myself positively so far. Grading myself positively so far. Now the only part that really matters. It's not the only part that matters, but, you know, the part that we would all like to see. Can we lock up a W here? Can we lock up some green and take another lucid payout? Let us see. Let us see. But as always, appreciate you guys for hopping on with me. Thanks for being here. We got a ton of people on the stream. Smash the like button. I said we were going to do a giveaway at 100 likes. Let's throw it in there. Hold on. There we go, guys. Now you can see what's up. Let's actually put this over here so we don't distract ourselves from this trade. But we got a giveaway coming. Giveaway at 100 likes. Gotta be in the free Discord. Link is in the chat to join the Discord. Bam. Rejecting. Rejecting, rejecting, rejecting. Let's see. Again, beautiful rejection off the lows. Buyers defended it really, really cleanly. Clear problem area. Clear problem area, right? Not enough for me to want to structure a trade as I'm buying into aggressive selling pressure like that with a tight-ass stop loss. No way that I'm going to be able to structure something really, really tight like this. I don't, it's just not my play. And this isn't enough for me, right? This push to the upside is just not enough for me. Again, not that I need a lot more, not that I need a ton more out of it, but not enough. Not enough. What I like about this one is this now is a clean invalidation spot. We give this up and we come all the way lower. I don't think we reject. I think we got a really good potential to continue lower aggressively. So yeah, let's see. See what the market's got for me. Back to stop, back to entry. No stop to break even. I do not like stop to break even. It hurts me more than it helps me. I have more entries hit break even at some point after I put the trade on, even if they've moved in a little bit of profit and continue in the direction of my trade, then come all the way to stop loss. It's not to say that I will not have days where we get some profit on the board and then we get a full stop. That is certainly something that will happen over a large sample size. But for me on this one, can't do it. If we traded all the way back to VWAP, if we had a nasty wick higher, something huge, and I missed my exit, stop to break even. What did we get out of this so far? 82 points. Not enough. Not enough. So, let's see what we get. Let's see what we get, chat. Harry Trade Zach. We'll see. We'll see. Give it 100 likes. Oh, sorry. I'm reading my own comments. Out for 600 bucks due to consistency. Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, like I said, maybe you wanted to grab something quick. You're in here with, for 700 bucks and, that's solid for you, right? Maybe you ran something with a tighter stop loss. Maybe you were long from down here. Maybe you're long from in here. Plenty of ways to make that work. For me, I'm going wider stop, wider take profit. Looking for that move back to VWAP. This is a tough part. This is a tough part that I needed to hold through. But again, right up here, right ahead of the 400s. Game of inches, but 40-ish points would, if we had just pushed on that, would have generated a take profit. And I do think we grabbed that on, on another day. But today, gotta hold it. Gotta diamond hands it. Let's see if buyers have it in them on Dow. But we're definitely getting some movement here. We started to get some serious movement. We got some serious movement in here. And now we're actually starting to pick up. So again, I think we're gonna see this crack back up here. Give me the W. Or after finding buyers, right, off of this level, which I'm very happy to get involved in. I talk about this a lot. Excuse me, let me finish the first sentence. Or we crack lower and we rip my face off. But I really don't like to get involved here and just get no reaction at all, right? So, whether or not this one works out to be the winner or the loss, I can't tell you what's going to happen next, right? Nobody can. But what I can grade this on, now, right, before we even get there, is had this just dumped really, really aggressively, not a bad spot to get involved in the market, but it does have me go back and look at my chart and go, there was no buyers there. Nobody cared about that area. Nobody put up a fight, at least today. There was nothing. When I at least get this, even if I catch the L here, I go, beautiful spot, bro. Beautiful spot, right? I talk to myself like this. Good job, bro. No, but good spot. There was a clear line in the sand here, right? And at very least, that gives me a way to structure risk. That gives me a way to hopefully be on the right side of the direction the market's going to move, but to be getting involved at a spot where I'm not just chopped in for no reason. I'm not just sitting in here where, nothing's happening, or I'm longing and then we just drift lower for no reason, right? We're getting in with some volatility. We're, obviously got some serious movement here. We got a fight getting put up. You know, are we going to be on the right side of that? That's the question. But I like the entry so far. Like the trade. And what I also like about something like this happening is it takes the long off the table, right? You know, had we blown through this level, I would say, hey, you know what? You're long right in here on this 15-minute candle. Nobody cared about it. Not not good. Maybe not a great spot. We got a really good chance of bouncing in here. You know, because instead of doing this, where I would look for a potential long, right? We did this. And now I'm not looking for a long. I'm not saying, okay, once we hit this level, we're going to bounce, right? You know, that's not the play. So this becomes a cleaner invalidation point. We come down here now. I think we actually could see some serious downward movement out of this market. Some serious downward movement. So talking trade management, no stop to break even. If we come back above these highs again, I'm going to look for an exit. I'm going to say close to the 400s. And if I'm looking for an exit up there, let's say if we're back above the 360s, if we're back above this 15-minute candle, and for some reason I don't close the trade, at that point I would want to go stop loss to break even. You know, that would be a point where I'd say, you know, you're on the right side of this thing for a while, and now it's continuing to prove you wrong. And if we had to come back down through the 270s, that'd be lights out. Yeah, 100 points for sure is what I would need out of this bad boy. But I really like this area right in here. But yeah, ES rolling over, looking pretty weak. CVD dropped off. Maybe we pick up some liquidity right here and start to bounce. Buyers continuing to try it. And again, that's making me nervous that if we give it up, if we start to give it up, we could see some nasty downward pressure. So there's a short play in here, guys. Just to give you the other side of the trade. You know, if we can't hold this, let me see what NQ and ES are doing. Yeah, obviously, right? There's a short play in here. Big surprise. We start to break through where I think we're, you know, maybe we just dip our toe here, but we could see lights out here. We could see some serious selling pressure. Sells off of VWAP looking really nice right now as we started to come lower. But there's absolutely a short play, right? You know, we're either going to defend this and hold it up and we're not going to come lower. We're going to find buyers off of these lows. Ooh. Like we're trying to do right now, or we're going to come aggressively lower. I don't know that we just sit there and chop. But we finally got some movement, man. It was getting boring to watch this market yesterday and this morning. Gosh. Buyers are going to try it, man. Do they have it in them today? This is tough, guys. This is tough. I don't know if we're getting the I don't know if we're getting the bounce before we give this up. This one's gonna test my ability to hold here. Yeah, dude, this... I'd love for this not to come back through the lows, but I think it might. I'm gonna hold this. It's not enough. I don't. Not that I don't care about $360 in a prop firm account, but this is not enough for me to make some movement, right? You know, I don't want to just take a full loss because $300 isn't enough. You know, this comes down to just trade management over time, and also looking at what the heck account you're trading, and average risk to reward and win rate, the whole thing. But this isn't enough for me to clip a trade on. Points wise, dollar wise, I gotta hold it. I don't like the structure now. We tried to break that high a second time. We got a shot to do it, and if we come back through, it could be a really nice move. But buyers tried to rip this back up, and they got a little bit out of it. But we're starting to consolidate down here without pushing higher. We come back to these lows with force. I think we could move lower really aggressively. We got liquidity getting pulled on ES. Holding on to it, but again, I'm always going to try to talk to you guys about what I'm seeing in the market. This is a tough one. Stop to break even for me, not good either. I don't want that. I would have no additional setup. That sucks. Come on, YM, go get the 400s. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. This might be lights out. This might be lights out here. Yeah, guys, we could see the aggressive short play. Again, giving you guys the other side of the trade. I think we're likely to move one direction or another, either up or down. But now that we got this volatility, we got this structure. Again, I'm holding my trade based on the data telling me to hold. But I gotta say, after that second movement, that looked really good. That looked really good. This was okay to watch. This is not looking good. Not looking good. For me, I gotta hold it. Gotta hold it. But not looking great. Again, it will quickly turn around if we come right back through that high. You know, if we really push right back through that high, that's gonna look good, obviously. But I don't love this. Don't love this. Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is an interesting one. Well, we got a trade on. We're going to take a W or an L. One or the other. Glad Wham is holding. Nas moving. Yeah, bro. W. Nice. Nice. Yeah, beautiful initial rejection, man. Such a nice initial rejection. Right? We popped like right off the rip on this one. Super clean. Now we got to make a decision on what we really want to do here. Now we got to make the decision on what we're really going to do with this market. Could see one more nasty wick in here, but I got the feeling that the next one's not going to be a wick. I got a feeling we're coming all the way down if we get that. Oof, volatility coming in. Let's see, chat. Let's see. Let's see. Uh-oh. Buyer's gonna try it. Where's the Creed song? Can you take me higher? I'll play it right now, guys. I will get a copyright strike on YouTube immediately. Let's see what the market's got for me today. Again, guys, we start to pop these highs, I'm going to look for a close. We start to pop these highs, I'm going to look for a close. I got to let the market do whatever the hell it wants to do in here. We're starting to form a wedge. This is... right? Starting to form a wedgie. You can probably see it on the lower time frames. I think we're likely to get a pop in one direction or the other. Obviously, I'm positioned long. I'd love to see it be to the long side, but I want to see a pop. Just to give you guys the heads up, I'm looking for a close in here. I don't want to set a fixed take profit because I don't want to. I don't like to do that. I like to manually close or maybe drag into a spot as we're starting to come up. I'd love to leave myself the ability to be on the right side of a Trump comment. Every once in a while that plays out in my favor. But just gives me the discretion to close. Obviously fixed stop loss. Damn, couldn't do it again. Couldn't do it again. Back down towards the lows in ES and NQ. This is dangerous. Coming into the danger zone. We're not going to sing the Creed song. Yeah, 200s, maybe. Maybe I survive a push to the 200s if we get that. We come down here, tap this zone again, tap yesterday's high. But again, guys, I got to be honest. I'm leaving my stop where it is, right? Initial invalidation point, nice and wide. You know, it's there for a reason. I don't find a good improvement in my edge tightening up stops, but I do got to say, if we come through these lows again, I don't have a lot of faith. Don't have a ton of faith. But we stick to our guns. Stick to the approach. Yeah. Buyers tried it. Aggressive wicks up. CVD looking weak. You know, still could turn. Still could go. The more this happens, the more likely I am to grab a quick take profit in here, guys, just to talk trade management one more time. You know, we could absolutely reverse this and come out through the highs and put a huge bullish day in here, right? I'm not trading for that. I wasn't trading for that initially, but I'm definitely not trading for that now after this this BS. Nice crack back above this first 15-minute bar high would be really clean. Would love that for a quick take profit, grab $1,000 and call it a day. I think we could wick up here one more time, and if I'm not out as we're coming through the lows, I think that would be even more lights out than just a move right down here out of this consolidation. So for all of those reasons, I'm gonna look for a take profit in here if we get a push up. Would love right before the 400s, but I don't know if I'm gonna press my luck on this one. Still not enough. Still not a spot to go stop loss to break even for me. Talking through trade management here. Staying patient on a Tuesday. Now that we're in long on a beautiful crack to the downside. Can buyers take me to the promised land? They're going to try. They're certainly going to try. Yeah, I need a nice crack towards 400s on this. Come on. Let's see. Ugh. Anybody else getting sight is recovering from a brief incident. Yeah, Lucid acknowledged that, just to let you guys know. Lucid did acknowledge they had an issue with their main site. Not to do with their trading, as far as I'm aware, but just so you're aware of this, guys. They did note on their main Discord, and I think maybe their socials, but on their main Discord, they wrote they're currently an issue logging into our website and dashboard. Does not impact your ability to trade active accounts. Team is working on it. Until resolved, you might not be able to purchase, or you will not be able to purchase or reset accounts. If you need credentials, they are included in every single trading account ready email that you receive from us. Go there to get your login details. So yeah, issue on Lucid's website. Again, not trading, not active accounts, not with TradeEvade or anything like that. But if you have, to log into the website for some reason, to try to buy an account or reset one, they're acknowledging that. It happens. Definitely happens. Yeah, I was able to use the site. It was slow today. I noticed that when I logged in. I took a look at my accounts. It was definitely slow. But like they said, it's their website. It's not, Websites are separate from dashboards, separate from, trading view, platforms. All of this stuff is different. Ooh, mean volatility here, guys. Mean volatility. We got some headlines coming in. Got some headlines coming in, guys. Could be looking for a close on this. Could be looking for a close on this. Again, if we crack to the upside, I'm going to look to take it. Oh, not able to follow through again, man. Come on. What are we doing, market? What is this? What is this crap? What is this? Dude, give us the push. What the F? What is this? Come on, man. Go grab the 400s. Give me the W so I can run a giveaway and get on with my day. If only the market could hear us and understand what we needed to do. Iraq officials say they have no plan to leave OPEC or OPEC Plus. Follows on the UAE announcing its departure. Maybe that has something to do with what we're seeing here. There we go. Oh, a lot of volatility here. What the F, dude? Just grabbed 15-minute bar highs. Oh, come on, man. Just grabbed 15-minute bar highs. A split second. That's going to be like a 30-second wick. Now it's going to come lower. Oh, man. This one's going to test me, guys. A lot of volatility here. We could get a really aggressive move either way. I'm hanging on to this thing. Floating in profit. Iran expected... Here's the news. Iraq will not... Oh, Iraq will not exit OPEC. Iran expected to submit a revised peace proposal soon. Oh, dude, come on. What is this garbage? Sorry to complain and bitch and moan here, guys, but what is this? Off the lows, straight chop. Buyers trying to take it higher. That sucks. That sucks, man. I want us outside of this, back up here. Yeah, I gotta hold this. I gotta fucking hold this thing now. Update on that headline. Iran expected to submit a revised peace proposal soon. CNN reports citing sources. Pakistan mediators expect to receive revised proposal from Iran in the next few days to end the war. That could be positive. Could be positive. All right, guys. Sitting patient in this one. Sitting patient in this one. Testing my patience here. Really testing my patience. I hate that. I hate that wick above these highs and no follow through. I'm hanging on to right around the 400s here. I'm tempted to set a fixed take profit. I don't want to do that because we got a lot of volatility. I think one of these can absolutely send us. But just know that when I take this close, I'm trying to give you guys the early heads up. You know, it's going to be a get the hell out type of move, right? Starting to drift back higher on this thing. I want to see close to the 400s, down below VWAP at 409 here on YM. I don't know how much more I want to press my luck on this. Here we go. Can we get back above these 15-minute bar highs, or are we just going to chop here? Here we go, getting a nice push. Very nice push. Looking for a little bit more out of this, guys. Like I said, ahead of the 400s. Trading 370s, 369s. This one's testing my reserve to hold. Here we go. Nice. Nice push. Nice push. Waiting for a little bit more out of this. Just a tad bit more. Come on, man. I'm taking it, guys. I'm taking 1,020 on this one. Close to the 400s that I wanted. Real close to the ahead of the 400s that I wanted. This little last bit of high volume. I think this looks positive. Just to give you guys this. Looks very positive. I think we could see a really big movement potentially either way. I'm going to keep repeating myself. A lot of positivity on the news front. If Trump comes in and says war's over, we like what we see from Iran, we could rip to the upside. It's not my trade. I'm taking it right here. Taking it right here. Now we can say W's in the chat. Now we can say $1,000. All right. W's in the chat today. That one tested me, guys. I gotta say that one was really trying me. Now we can throw W's in the chat. Now we're taking another lucid payout. Let's come on, chat. Come on. On the roll today, man. On the roll this week. What? Let me get the actual number on there. Was it 1,000? Did we catch 1,000? 1,010 for $1,003 after fees and commission in the Lucid Flex account. We're taking another payout, chat. Come on, man. Let's see. Let's see what this one's got for me. This could absolutely rip faces to the upside. Again, not my trade, not what I'm going for. Not going for the complete reversal. Love the W on this one. Love the W. Very choppy back and forth after I got in. Let's just go back and go to the tape before we run a giveaway. You guys have been cool. Guess what? We're going to get somebody funded here, all right? What did we get on this? What did we get on this? We got entry was 7.3. Had like 130 point, 140 point stop, something like that. And we took the nothing crazy from a risk reward standpoint. Definitely nothing crazy from a risk reward standpoint. We got 102 points out of this bad boy. No complaints. No complaints. Again, a lot of potential here, guys. A lot of potential for this to absolutely turn to the downside and just continue to do what it was about to do and rip faces off. News headlines are positive. This feels like we don't want to break lower like we were trying to do, and that we might be just chopping and sitting near all-time highs because we got some positivity coming out of the news front on the war potentially ending, which has been driving the market higher, continually driving the market higher. So, W's, man. W's. That one was tough though. I really got to admit, like nice entry, but this is some tough shit to sit through, man. This looked like trash here. That looked like trash, right? After sweeping this and just rejecting. But nice. Nice to catch $1,000 and snag a payout. Now. Chat. W's. Look at that. Hella W's in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Code RDF at Lucid. Let's go. You know it. Listen, here's the deal, guys. Just to give you the heads up. Like, let's talk about it real quick. We're going to run a giveaway. Smash the like button. Giveaway at... Lucid site is working for me. Giveaway at 100 likes. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about how the hell I'm taking payouts, what the hell I'm doing, right? These bad boys right here. Lucid Flex accounts. I like the 50Ks for the most part across most firms. I just think there's such a good price point and you have such a good advantage on the profit target to max loss limit. I also think relative to the amount of payout, the max payout that you're able to take from something like this to something like this just presents such a nice opportunity. But maybe you like the 150Ks, and I think that's great. A lot of the guys, most of the guys that I trade with trade the 150Ks. Lucid Flex accounts, okay? You could pass them in 2 days. $3,000 profit target, $2,000 max loss limit. End of day trailing drawdown, no DLL. End of day trailing drawdown in the funded and the eval. No DLL in the funded and the eval. In the funded account, the one that I'm trading right now. Oops, sorry. No consistency rule. No DLL. Just a $2,000 max loss limit and a 5 minimum $150 trading days. Okay? So, like I talked about, I pass these accounts quick. I flip them when I'm not doing anything for the $150 days, right? And I wait for my nice setup like I saw today, and I put $1,000 in it, or $2,000 in it, right? Or, you know, 1,600 or whatever, or 1,500, whatever the other day was. And then I snag a nice payout, right? If you keep doing that, you naturally build more profit in it, and, you know, you get closer to that max payout. On these, I think the max payout is $2,000. Let me give the actual amount. My bad, guys. I'm trading so many different accounts these days. I'm 95% sure, but I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah. 50%, right? Up to $2,000. So if you put up $4,000 in profit, you can take out $2K. You can withdraw below that amount. I think the minimum's $500. You can withdraw if you hit $1,000. Yeah, but that doesn't leave you a lot of room to work with, right? So maybe, you know, you wait for $2,000, $3,000 worth of profit. You start paying yourself, 90-10 profit split, almost damn near instant payouts. These are solid. If you want to check these out and you want to support your boy and you want to support yourself with the best deal, here's the link in chat. Chatty McChat chat. Again for you guys. Okay? Code RDF. As you can see everywhere, all over my screen, gets you the best deal. 40% off your next 5 accounts with these guys. If you want to check it out, shout out Lucid. Shout out Lucid. I will also add, since we're about to do the giveaway for a top 1 account, if you want to check out some badass accounts that have very different opportunities, Top 1 Futures. Let me go to the Top 1 Futures site before we run this giveaway real quick, and I'll show you what we're talking about. Code RDF gets you 50% off. The 2 accounts that are very different than those Lucid accounts, but also solid, are both the OG Instant Funded. This was the account. These were the accounts that I was primarily trading because I traded almost everything under the sun with them. But these are the accounts that I was trading before I got moved into the live account with them. And I traded that for 6 months to 26 payouts. 2 really solid opportunities with Top 1. Instant funded accounts. The OGs are my favorite. They are the widest rule set and the most expensive. Or if you are a complete opposite of the end of the spectrum, if you're a complete beginner, if you are somebody that is not confident in their trading, you're somebody that does not have a lot of money to put on the line, $39, I don't know what the heck that was, $39 evals. Very, 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 very inexpensive. Now remember, you know, you get what you pay for to a degree. There's no free lunch. Accounts that are more expensive, that have harder, you know, rules in the eval, typically have a wider rule set in funded. Same thing with instant funded. But really a solid opportunity. Code RDF, $39 evals with top 1, all sizes, and or 50% off, instant sim funded. Really, really solid stuff. You guys want to check these out. Questions, concerns, comments, please feel free to let me know. I will also note I am trading with Top 1 Futures, Lucid, the two that I just talked about, Take Profit Trader, solid opportunity. Alpha Futures, very interesting opportunity. Just got started with those guys. Haven't been doing much with them just yet. I'm trying to figure out what accounts I really want to trade and get funded with and then start cranking through payouts with them. And Top Step. Top Step, good old reliable. You know, they've got some things that we're all not super stoked about, but OGs in the space. We'll also be taking a look at some others coming up soon, but there's only so many accounts I could trade. Now. Smash the likes. Twitch says $189 activation fee. Yes, Twitch. There is a $189 activation fee on the $39 eval accounts. What did I say before I read that comment? There is no free lunch, right? No free lunch. There's just different opportunities, right? It's your job as a trader to find out what the best opportunity is for you. Do you want to pay more on the front end? Do you want to deal with a consistency rule? Do you want to deal with a minimum trading days rule, you know, intraday trailing drawdown? What do you want? Well, we got options for all of it, right? That's why I don't think there's one best. And I'm partnered with, you know, more firms nowadays and trading more firms. I can pick what the best is for me. You guys can pick what the best is for you. You can get the best deal. I will only partner with firms that I, you know and trust and I'm, you know, using myself. Same with software companies, right? But, you know, you might find something that I'm not partnered with that you like better. Send it, right? Remember, I'm partnered. I'm affiliated. I stand to make money. Can't be unbiased, right? Do your own research, make your own decisions. Now, smash the like button, code RD. Yeah, we talked about that. 2K. Yeah, Fast Money said 2K on the Lucid. Yeah, 2K. Which again, for me, you know, I'm trading these things. I'm trading these things individually, and I like to do that, right? Not all my eggs in one basket. I'm able to take multiple payouts across multiple firms per week. It's a more steady flow on the equity curve side. If you copy trade all things together, usually it's a long period before, you know, one huge payout, right? A lot of spend and then one big payout. Maybe you batch them, right? You copy trade across batches. Seems like we'll be a Dubsky today. Yeah, oh, it was a Dubsky today. Again, guys, press the like button so I can see it. Hit the like button and then hit the live button. Bottom left-hand side of the screen. To make sure you're watching it in real time. All right, here's what we got, guys. Giveaway update. I'm new here, sir. So we had this, right? We had this here. You guys are not hitting the like button, which is cool. I get it. We don't want to hit the like button today. You got 69 likes. I'll be nice. I'll talk to you guys until you get... I'll knock 10 off, all right? I'll talk to you guys until you get to 90, okay? If nobody wants to hit the like button and we don't hit 90, we'll save the giveaway for another day. But questions, concerns, comments, we'll yap about prop firms, we'll yap about trading. YM, man, I have such a hit rate on YM. It's not going to stay this way forever, guys. I took some nasty L's on NQ. I did take a nasty L on YM, getting short in a really bullish market. Man, I got to say, though, my hit rate is really, really just maintaining such a solid number. Across these firms. So I'm thankful for it. I'm going to rake up payouts while I'm doing it. And I want to note, you know, remind you guys that there will be plenty of times coming up. Maybe it's tomorrow where I take back-to-back L's, right? That's coming for everybody. It's coming for me. You know, I took a couple 2 weeks ago, a couple back-to-back L's. But, you know, it's part of the game. It's not always going to be you pull up and take a nice trade and you catch $1,000 in a prop account, right? It's just not always going to be the case. Sim funded 300K is better than 189 plus 39 for eval. Maybe, Jake. Maybe, right? You know, it depends. If you're somebody that is struggling, if you're somebody that is not confident in their ability to take to pass evals, right? And you need a lot of chances. You know, maybe a really inexpensive eval is going to be better for you, right? But for me, what I prefer is a higher priced account with a better rule set and funded. Like, what's the best funded rules that I can get? And then I'll usually go for that account. And the only difference of things that are really close, I think, in my realm is something like this, right? You know, if I'm not going instant funded, which eval accounts give you a better rule set in funded than instant funded, although you do have to pass an eval. If I'm not going instant funded with a 20% consistency rule, you have an option like this, right? Do you want a consistency rule and a DLL, or do you want no consistency, no DLL with a minimum trading days, right? So again, there's no free lunch, but these two, you know, are going to be the general thing that you see across multiple firms when it comes to eval accounts. Most of them just have one instant funded. Top one's got a couple different ones. I think they're going to condense that pretty soon. But when it comes to eval accounts, the biggest difference usually is, do they have one with a consistency rule in funded and a DLL and no minimum trading days? And do they have one with no consistency rule, maybe no DLL, and minimum trading days? And that's just up to you to decide what you want. You might say, yeah, Zach, I don't care about a 40% consistency rule. I don't want to have to worry about 5 minimum trading days. I want to take a payout in 3 trading days, and I'm also cool with a DLL. You might say, no, that sucks. I want $2,000 max loss submit. I want to be able to hammer it and put up a big day, and then, you know, I don't care about the $150 days, right? So, you know, you got to decide what's best for you. But then again, yeah, like we were talking about top one, right? You know, if you might say, hey, look, that's cool, but I'm blowing evals left and right. If I trade with a $39 eval, even though I have an activation fee, and even though I have maybe a tighter rule set and funded, because I would say arguably you have a tighter rule set and funded on the top one account, you know, instead of paying $129.50 every time I fail an eval, I'm paying, you know, $39, right? If you fail, for example, you know, 5 evals with Lucid, that's $645, right? If you failed 5 $39 evals, it's not even $200. It's $195. You know, so it depends on where you are as a trader, what you're looking for in the funded account, right? You know, your capital allocation, all of these things. So that's the thought. That's the thought, right? It's not that you can compare things side by side, but they're all different. They're all different. None of them are apples to apples. And I make a lot of those comparison videos, and I'm going to make more of them. I'm mostly just going to talk about the accounts that I like, that I'm trading, that I think are the best. You know, but it depends, right? It depends on you as a trader. Can you check out my markup to make sure that I understand what we were looking at? Caught 400 on that trade. Sure, for sure. ES is my jam. Don't know why I traded NQ and got punished. Yeah, NQ's tough, bro. Thanks, man. Oh, for sure, for sure. Sorry to add some more to the markup. No, you're good. I'll check the markup in Discord later on, guys. But yeah, again, the best for you is going to be drastically different than the best for the next guy. Really important to note that. And it comes, and that's why these prop comparison sites to tell you what the best are, I don't think is great, right? I like to put a lot of accounts side by side, like daily payout accounts I did in the past, instant funded accounts I did in the past, right? Because they're close. But even them will have different rules. Maybe one has a news rule, one doesn't. And you might be a news trader. And you might say, dude, I can't trade stuff with no news rule. No shot. You know, one might have a different platform, right? You might be a, you know, platform that's not supported by Lucid and Top One, and you might need to trade some other random firm. So, you know, that's the thought. Lucid is saying website fixed, by the way, guys. Lucid is saying website fixed. Looked fixed to me because I'm on it right now and it seems to be working. But I don't know about logging in and all that fun stuff. All right, guys, where are we at? 77 likes? Nobody wants to give away, huh? Y'all really don't want it today. Nice W on Kick. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy to get a win in, man. Happy to get a win in. You're gonna see another payout from me. Tell you that. I can tell you that much. I don't think that one's gonna be a max for sure, but I don't really like to talk. I don't ever post payout certificates with payout numbers. I don't know if you guys follow my stuff. I don't like to do that. I don't like to post payout certificates with payout numbers. I don't post total payout numbers. I don't post numbers about payouts. I think if you were going to do that, you need to post a whole lot more about every single account you're trading, evals, funded accounts. If I'm not trading them all on the live stream, which I'm not, it's not very helpful to do that. And I also just don't think it creates a good expectation, a good frame of reference. You're not me. You're not my, you don't have my capital. You don't know what the hell I'm doing. I mean, even if you did it, it's not really relatable. So rather than, boast about numbers the way I think a lot of other guys do without showing the trading, I like to show the trading. I like to put the risk on here with you guys live, right? And then you can see how much I'm making and losing, roughly on the live sessions. You could take a look at what that would look like in prop firm accounts. I'm talking about the flipping that I do on some of them, a couple $100 days. And, and then post payouts as far as I'm taking them, right? And even that is not helpful, just to be clear, as we're waiting for some of you guys to smash some likes. Even that is not really helpful. This is what's helpful. Let me rant for a second, guys. Let me rant for a second, guys. In the day and age of AI, and where everybody is biased, because almost everybody is a partner, an affiliate of something, or they are selling a course or a VIP or a mentorship, or they have, even if they're not any of those things, they have some vested interest somewhere. So in an area where everybody's biased, right, to say one thing over another, and where you can fake literally everything, except maybe for what you're seeing right now, maybe, right? Live trading. If a person is a trader that makes content around trading, let's just call it that. I don't know if they're an influencer. I don't know what the hell you would call me or everybody else. But if it's somebody that spends a lot of their time on Instagram and X and YouTube, making videos about trading, talking about trading, sharing their trading, and they somehow are missing the time to put the camera in front of them to trade live, I would ask them why. I think it begs the question why. Sure, it's time consuming. Sure, it's super stressful and annoying and you have to manage so much and it takes away from being able to focus, all of those things. But if you want to display anything about what you're doing, displaying what you're doing, like this right here, is the way to do that. And I'd say very, very, very few people actually trade live like this consistently, showing wins and losses, especially not for free, especially not behind a paywall the way that I do every single day. So I'm not patting myself on the back. There are plenty others out there, but I watch so many big people out there, so many big creators in the space, never trade live, right? Never, ever trade live. And it begs the question, where did we get confused about what we're doing here, right? Why would you listen to anything that person has to say? You have no idea about their abilities, their skill set, how they do what they do, even if they are making a ton of money trading and sharing broker statements and different things. You have no idea how that was done. It's not helpful to you. Last piece of this rant. This is live trading. You know what isn't live trading? Just putting a position tool on the chart and not putting risk on, okay? Talking about trading and then saying I traded after the fact is not live trading, okay? Talking about I might take a long and then saying I made $10,000 when it wins and then, oh, I didn't take that one because it wasn't that great when it loses. That's just BS. That's not live trading. So important distinction that I think a lot of people need to hear. But again, I think this is the only way to display, what you're doing. Even that's better than nothing. I will give those guys credit. Even that's better than nothing. You at least have to pull up to the chart every day and, call out your entries in real time, but that's the only way to display anything, man. Everything else can be faked. Even if it's not faked, it does not help you at all. And even if it's not faked, it can be manipulated in a million ways, in a million different ways. So look for guys and girls that are live trading, right? Consistently. Preferably for free. But even behind a paywall is fine, as long as they're doing it consistently. You can pull up and watch. So, hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps, right? You know, me posting a broker statement telling you how much money I made with trades after the fact, that doesn't help anybody. Me posting payouts, that doesn't help anybody. You don't know how it happened, right? You don't know what was done. You don't know if it's legit or not. You don't know if it's real in the first place. None of that stuff matters, right? Trading competitions is YOLO fest for clout. Absolutely displays nothing. In fact, if you lead with that, you're something about a trading competition, I know you're just full of crap. So anyway, just wanted to get that out there, guys. I think it's really important in this day and age to look for that. You know, look for guys that are trading live. There's a lot of them out there. Again, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm so special, I'm the only guy. There's plenty of traders that are doing this. Plenty. You know, look for them. Look for them. And if they're not doing that, you know, I'm not saying ask them and bother them, but like ask yourself maybe why. And is there some other value to be gotten from what they do? Because some of the biggest ones in the space do not trade live at all. And I think the answer to that question, why, is pretty obvious, right? Anyway, let's run a giveaway, guys. You got 81 likes. You guys are being stingy with likes. I'm going to run it anyway. I think you guys are cool. And we hung out. We took a W. I guess somebody funded. Hang tight, Chatty McChat chat. I mean, you could smash the like button if you want, just to run it up a little bit more, but it's all good, man. You don't have to hit subscribe. You don't have to comment. You don't have to do anything, man. Free means free. I'll be here trading live almost every damn day for free. And just to talk a little bit more, as I'm not looking at the screen and filling out this giveaway form, what's up with Google, man? I wonder if it's like a Google services or something, or like an AWS thing. Anyway, just to rant about this a little bit more, right? Talk about myself. I don't claim to be the best trader. I don't claim to have it all figured out. I don't claim to make a lot of money trading, to make a little bit amount of money trading, to be profitable, unprofitable. I don't have to say anything about my trading because I show you it for free every day across multiple platforms, live in real time, right? You shouldn't have to, you should let your, the thing that you're doing speak for itself. That's my opinion. So, if you have to take someone at their word in this day and age, not a good thing. Not a good thing. So, again, guys, I'm an idiot from YouTube. There's certainly, and I'll even go as far as to say, I think there's certainly better traders than me out there. I think there's guys that are further along, that have made way more money, that have higher return on their investment, better expectancy, better every kind of ratio you can imagine, that have been doing it for longer. That's cool. I don't have an ego. But I'm more than happy to show you what real trading looks like for me. Day in and day out. Entries, exits, stops, targets, P&L running. Mistakes made, blow-ups, right? Lost accounts, even though hopefully it doesn't happen too often as far as blowing up and making huge mistakes, but it will certainly happen. And show you how I improve, how I look to get better every day and take W's like we did today. All right? All right, guys. Giveaway form is live in Discord. Okay? Giveaway form is live in Discord. Feel free to get that one filled out if you want to be part of the giveaway. Give you guys 10 minutes and we will run a giveaway. We will run a giveaway. Appreciate you guys for hopping on as always, man. But I think all that stuff is important to convey and to be transparent about, right? I think it's really important. If you want to hear more about my trading, more about the mindset, more about my journey, right? Some of the history, watch the podcasts. I got a ton of them on my website, realdealfutures.com. The ASFX podcast, the one that I just dropped with Lawrence. Some of the older ones, you can go back and watch all that stuff, man. But I'm happy to pull up with you guys here every day and show you what aggressively trading prop accounts, because that's what the journey that I'm on right now with, you know, what I think most people want to see as well. Happy to show you what that looks like for free, day in and day out. Let's see. What do we got, guys? What do we got? What do we got? Awesome. You guys are filling it out. Let's put it in here. Give away. Throw this in here. Cool. Why could have worked out. Sir, 90 likes hit. Yeah, giveaway form is in Discord, guys. Talked about it. Giveaway form is in Discord. Giveaway is for a Top 1 Futures eval. Maybe we run more than one. On a 5-day win streak, strong finish to the month. Nice. Nice. Yeah, month's almost over. WW, some guys' account churn until they get a payout and post it on their socials without full disclosure. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Most guys will not, like me, tell you I'm trading evals stupid aggressively. I will pass or fail them immediately in whatever the minimum amount of time is, right? And then I will also lose funded accounts aggressively on the way to larger and more and bigger payouts. That's the aggressive, approach that I'm applying to sim trading right now. Outside of that, I will show you what my trading looks like when I'm not just flipping accounts for no reason. I'll show you what trading a Top 1 Futures live account, a prop firm live account with no reset button for 6 months, managing risk in a live account. I was happy to do that for the last half a year with you guys live almost every day. To 26 payouts looks like, right? And there's nothing wrong with being aggressive. There's nothing wrong with, being super aggressive and ripping through evals and funded accounts to a degree, as long as you are transparent about it, as long as you're going to talk about it, right? Implying that you have some ridiculous unattainable edge in the market and then charging to teach people about it and then not tell them what you're actually doing is the problem, right? Why aren't we at 100 likes? Only rule is usually run away from injury trailing drawdown. We'd rather, yeah. Giveaway forms. Nice. We got it, guys. All right, let's chill. Give you guys 10 minutes. You guys have until 11:38 to get this one filled out, and then we're gonna run the ducks. While you guys are getting this filled out, I will be right back. BRB. Chatty chat. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? There you go. 400s. Trading the 400s on YM. There's another one to file for never close my trades. As is the norm. No stop loss to break even. Never close them. Alright, guys. We got 3 minutes. Go ahead, get the form filled out. I'll give you guys 3 more minutes. Remember, only fill it out one time. You got to be following all the instructions. You guys love to not follow the instructions. You love to spam the form. If you do any of that stuff, I hope you step on a Lego barefoot. No, if you do any of that stuff, you're going to get banned. So please don't do that. You're going to get banned from my stream, from giveaways, from the prop firms, from all that fun stuff. So don't do that. Slid it to YouTube to hit the like button. Didn't seem to work. Gotcha. Thanks. Thanks, bro. Zach, how long have you been trading? Honestly, I struggle to answer that question with clarity. I say in the markets because it stems back to like when I was first starting to put, you know, some stock trades on, right? Like first figuring out what the hell an investment brokerage account was. And if I go back that far, I'm over the 6-year mark. The first part of that, maybe 6 to 7 years. The first part of that, to call it trading, I don't know, it does it justice. So probably a little bit less than that. But I've been involved with the financial markets. I've been in the markets for, you know, around that long. First little bit of that was not really focused anything. And then the next question is, how long did it take for you to get profitable? Which is another one that's incredibly difficult for anybody to answer. And I question anybody that answers within a set amount of years. Like as if you finished year 3 and then the new year came and all of a sudden you were making money every day. But the first few years were just straight bleeding money. You know, 2 to 3 years before I really started to grab onto some consistency. And even towards the end of that, I thought I had much greater consistency than I actually had in the moment. So you look back and you usually go, yeah, I didn't know that was profitable back then. Stepping on a Lego, far worse fate than death. W trade, let's go. From my side, I thank you very much. Awesome. Thank you for the kind words. Very nice. I don't think those who are watching the stream and don't like the video should participate. Yeah. Try. Whatever works. I have an instant 150K, and I have $2,500 in drawdown left. What would you recommend I risk? I think 500. That's a question that I can't answer. That's definitely a question that I can't answer. You know, if you risk $500, you're giving yourself 5 trades, right? You know, you decide what your average risk to reward is and win rate is, and you know, you go from there, and you decide how you know, do you want to hold on to the account? Do you want to stand a chance to lose the account? You know, all of those things. So, guys, last chance, get the form filled out. I'm gonna give you guys another second here. Go ahead, get the form filled out, and we're gonna run the giveaway. Give you guys another couple minutes here. Thanks, really amazing journey. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, the podcast, this one I think was probably like, hold on one second. Go to Austin Silver's YouTube. Go to ASFX YouTube and search my name. I've got multiple videos on there with him. I got 2 interviews. The first one with him, I think I went into the most detail of, like, you know, just talking about my journey and history and all that type of stuff. But if you guys are interested in it, I went to high school and then college. I try not to dox myself too much, so we'll grain of salt it here. I went to college. I ended up with a business degree, marketing and management, with a minor in psychology. I got out and I worked an outside sales, vendor managed inventory type, an industrial supply company type job, but sales essentially, for 3-ish years. Try to get the time frame on all of this right. And then I moved halfway across the country with my now wife. And I worked for a racing fuel company because I was born and raised racing motocross, for those of you that don't know that history, for 7 or 8 years. Again, I'm trying to get the numbers right. I could, go back and look at the first picture there and the last picture there. Sales, but mostly management. Really higher level by the time I was, getting out of there. I was running a lot of it. Managed distribution for, again, specialty fuels, racing fuels, lubricants, a whole bunch of other different little things for the Southeast. A lot of Latin America, South America, the Caribbean, which was really cool. Got to travel a lot. And to the latter part of that time, obviously, I decided to open up a candlestick chart and start losing money in the markets like everybody else. No, I think I opened up a brokerage account. The real story is my father-in-law said, hey, you're making some money. You're doing pretty good. He's seeing some success. Time to start investing. Time to learn about the stock market. Obviously I knew what the stock market was, having gone to business school, but time to, become more active here and focus on longer term investments, retirement. And, the end was seeing money really quickly. Watching money go up on Apple or whatever the first couple stocks I decided to pick were. And I, like everybody else, went, ooh, I could figure this out. This would be great. And that was the start. Yeah, so I did that for a long period of time. A lot of focus, a lot of concentration. Transitioned from crypto to Forex. I got really serious trading crypto and Forex, mainly Forex, where I started to gain some consistency. Eventually left my full-time career and then moved my way over to futures as I was getting burned with Forex and CFD prop firms. And I've been here on futures for what? It's 2026. It's the beginning of 2026. 2-ish years. Yeah, probably 2-ish years. Futures props, futures live accounts, personal live accounts, just the these standard investment brokerages. A little bit of options now. I really hadn't touched options until very recently. But yeah, that's the journey, guys. That's been my journey. Has not been easy at all. Way harder than I thought. Way longer than I thought. All of those things, which I think are important to note. But it's been awesome. Super rewarding to be able to get to do what you like to do. A lot of freedom and a lot of flexibility, right? We obviously know the positives here. And started putting out content. Making videos about my trading about 2 years ago. A little over 2 years ago now. It was right around my birthday 2 years ago, which is the beginning part of the year. And this has been awesome. Been live trading with you guys recently over the last year, almost every day. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of live trading. If you want to go back and watch me with, short hair and long hair and trading different stuff, trading Forex and CFDs, it's all up. I've started making videos. And here we are. So you guys will watch the progression. I'm going to continue to progress, continue to get better, hopefully, continue to make more money, continue to put out better content, better across the board. So that's the deal, man. That's the deal. Now, giveaway time. Hang on, guys. We're gonna run the ducks because everybody likes free accounts. Nah. Damn, some of you guys just filled it out. What happened, guys? I've been talking about it. This is why I give you guys a little bit extra time. All right. We have 98 ducks in a row. Giveaway form is closed. Let's go ahead and run it. This is for a top 1 futures 50K eval account. Their new 50K eval account. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we do more than one. I'm not sure. You guys are going to have to hang out to the end and find out. If you guys want to check out Top One Futures, link is in the chat. Code is in the chat. Code RDF gets you the best deal. Feel free to check them out. Shout out Top One Futures for supporting me, supporting the stream, supporting you guys with the best deals and some badass accounts. Let's run it. 3 minutes on the clock. Let's go. Sounds like such a rewarding journey after struggles and setbacks. Yeah, man. As is life. As is life, man. You know, you're never going to do anything hard, anything great without struggles, you know? If it's handed to you, I don't think you did anything great. Great come-up journey. Yeah, man. Yeah. Listen, you know, listen, people will also have, I'll say this. I've had struggles in my life, right? I've had definitely some low points. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the, you know, the upbringing that I had, although it wasn't perfect, right? Without going into too much detail. But I do think a lot of people have it harder than me, right? I will note, a lot of people have history and you know, struggles and trials and tribulations that I haven't had to face. So I empathize with you, man. I do. You know, I can't speak to all of it. I could just say, I know it's not always easy, and life is always going to find a way to challenge you. Always going to throw you curveballs. It's not going to go the way that you think. Trading and anything that you want to achieve. But through grit and perseverance and discipline and attempting to be a good human and do the right thing, maybe faith if you believe in religion or a higher power. But putting in the hard work day in and day out, believing in yourself, you know, these are the things that can push the needle forward. And I truly believe that everybody can push the needle forward, no matter, you know, the things that are in front of you. I've been lucky to have a lot of people in my life that I've met, that I've got to work with, that I've got to talk to, that have had way tougher goes of it, that were born into way worse situations, that faced insane setbacks and struggles, right? You know, stuff that I couldn't even imagine. And they came out on top more than I would ever imagine, ever. They're blowing everyone and their mother out of the way with what they get to do, how they provide for their families, their job, the life they live. So it's out there. It's out there for you guys. But just know, you know, this stuff is a tough road. It's a long road. Trading, you know, anything that's going to be a high-paying career, it's not easy. It's not overnight. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of money. You know, it's important to note that stuff. But set your mind to whatever you want to do. If it's trading, if you enjoy trading, if you know, like the potential upsides and you actually like the charts a little bit, because I think that's important, send it. Just take it slow, manage risk, keep it controlled. It's my non-financial advice from an idiot on YouTube for entertainment purposes only. Let's see who's got this one. 21 seconds to go. Sam the Trader out of nowhere. What was that, bro? What was this? Oh, fast money formula. Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. We got a W in the chat. W's in the chat, guys. W's in the chat. We got fast money formula. Sam the Trader looked like he was going to take that one. Don't go anywhere. Fast money, where you at? Fast money. Where you at, brother? Discord OG. He's won accounts before. It's what happens when you hang out here long enough. You win multiple accounts. But guess what, guys? We took a W on stream. We had some fun. We got some great conversation. You're listening to me yap about a bunch of random stuff today. Guess what we're going to do, chat? We're going to run it back. Round two. Round two. W's. I'm reading some of the stuff. You guys are awesome. Austin's how I found your channel. Podcast. Awesome, man. Awesome. Hella W's first time. Let's go. Congratulations. Fake out. Sam the Trader, what happened, bro? What happened? You came out of nowhere. It was a false breakout. You swept liquidity and you just tucked right back in, dude. It's bad. Round two. Yeah, we're doing round two. We're going to run it again. What somebody said, I never see my name on those ducks. I wonder if something's wrong. Let's see. Here, let's check one specifically. Your name is, let's just double check. It's important. R-A-E-E-Z-L. Yeah. You're on there, my guy. You're in here. You're in. All right, guys. Hope Sand hits TP this time. You guys are funny. Swept liquidity. Yeah, bro. I don't know, dude. That was a liquidity sweep. That was liquidity. It was a fake out. It was a false breakout. Wasn't good. Stop got ran on that one. All right, guys. Remember, I don't even have to check for fast money. He's been here for a long period of time. I know exactly who that is. He follows on IG. You have to have followed the form. So when the next person wins and I don't know the name, if I don't know the name, yeah, I'm checking up on everything, okay? You gotta be here. Let's run it. Trump tweet, man. That's mad funny. RJ trades. Oh, Wix 9. Yo, we got the man in chat. What up, Wix? What's happening? We were talking about. Hey, listen, guys. We were talking about live traders. We were talking about people that pull up and trade live every day for their community. Talk about a guy that's been doing it longer than me. If you guys are seeing that name in the chat, it's a crazy colored green background. Feel free to click on Wix9's profile. Check him out, man. Another badass trader that trades live. And a good dude. Had a ton of fun down at Columbia running around. But what's up, good? What's up, dude? Drop a like. I appreciate you, brother. There you go. Half a decade of streaming. Dear Lord. Dear good Lord. Yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. But yeah, man, feel free to check out that dude's channel, guys. Super active on YouTube if you're looking for another live streamer. Appreciate you coming in, man. Pace yourself, guys. Fast money. Drop a like, yeah. Drop it just like you got to drop some exciting news. Yeah, bro, we'll have to link up. We'll have to link up. Follow him for 7 years now during Asia Gold. There you go. There you go. We got some peeps from the community. Yeah, man, we'll have to link up. We'll have to link up for sure. Let's see who's got this one, guys. 60 seconds, last one. Let's get somebody funded. Let's see what we can do. Wrap this stream up on a high note. My duck's name is funded. Why? It shouldn't be. Nobody's name should be funded unless that's your... Oh, I guess it is because that's your YouTube name. That makes sense. But as always, guys, before we finish this one out, appreciate you hopping on. Y'all are awesome. I'm here every damn day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, almost every damn day on YouTube, Kick, and X. Free 99. If you're not in the free Discord, I don't know how you're in the giveaway because you have to be in the free Discord, but feel free, check the pinned, check the links pinned to the top of the chat. Hop in the free Discord, check out the firms that I'm trading with. Follow across socials, Real Deal Zach on everything, man. Let's see who's got this one. Tight pack into the finish. Breakout duck. Hero Crypto. Hero Crypto. Let's see, let's see, let's see. I don't know who this one is. I don't know who this one is. This isn't a Discord OG. So first and foremost, Hero Crypto. Are you here? Are you here with us? Hang on. And did you follow the instructions on the sheet? I hope that you did. I hope that you did. I'm sorry, I'm checking real quick, guys. Let me see who this is. A-H-I. Who the heck is this? Nah, man. No. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. Don't go anywhere, guys. Don't go anywhere, guys. So this was one of the later ones to fill out. A lot of times what happens around the bottom of the list is we get the spam and the scam and Mr. Hero Crypto, dude. Why do you guys do this to me? Why did you do it to me? Mr. Hero Crypto, first off, are you in chat? Because I'm going to ask you the question here. I'm not going to beat you up, though. Nah, he's not in the chat either. Hold on, guys. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere yet. You know what happens. You know what happens if people don't follow instructions. Hold on. Hold on, chat. Hold on. Uh-oh. We gotta run it again. Even though he's not here, even if he was here, he did not follow the instructions on the form. I'm not gonna beat the person up, but didn't follow the instructions on the form. I cannot be clearer, guys. It cannot be clearer on that form. I put it in all caps. I put it bold. Guess what we gotta do, guys? Running it back. Round 3. Round 3. You gotta be here on the live stream, but even if you're not, sometimes I give you a little bit of time. But if you don't fill the form out in the right way, we gotta run it back. So round 3, let's run it. Let's go. It'll be first time trading futures if I win. Nice. Lucky feeling. Yeah, you guys are crazy in the chat for the Ducks, man. 2 minutes on the clock. Why I'm still pushing the upside. Another one that I should just never close my trades. Another one that is getting filed under hold my trades longer, as are most, I should say. Ooh. ES and NQ trying to decide if they're going to rip everybody's face off to the downside. We'll have to wait and see if that happens or not. But let's come back to the Ducks. Did I win? No, Mike, you didn't win. Didn't win. Excuse me there, guys. Excuse me. Let's see, man. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Good luck, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out now that we're just running Ducks into lunchtime here. We got W's on the stream. We got W's on the Ducks. Someone's Duck is called YouTube. Yeah, that's not good. I could probably find out who that is if they win, but yeah, you gotta fill the form out, guys. I can't. We had a day where I had to like keep running it again and again and again because it was just a bunch of BS. But when you name your duck, it has more chance of winning. Ah, you guys are funny. $30 seconds to go. Let's see. Let's see who's getting this one. I got a good feeling. We got a big spread pack here, guys. Adam out front. Jack. Should we announce like the horse race? Let's see. It's a little early. Usually it's a come from behind. These guys up front, they're breakout Ducks, man. They're gonna get their stops run. Wardy, Tom Ward up front. Discord OG. Elizabeth, the New York Duck, making a run for it. Maybe a little too early. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Number 25 Duck, Ange Cart, taking the W on this one. Hang on, hang on. Ange, I hope that's how you pronounce your name. Ange Cart. I think this is someone who's in Discord often. We got W's in the chat. Throw them in. Ange Cart, did you fill out the form in the correct way? I think that you did. I think that you did. But I'm just going to have to double check. Yes, you did. Following on IG. You're in Discord. Look at that, guys. We know how to follow instructions. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We got W's in the chat. We have to run it 3 times. We got 2 winners today. Shout out to you guys for taking wins on this one. If you did not get a chance to win today, Maybe you pull up tomorrow because we're here live almost every damn day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. If you didn't get a chance to check out the prop firms that I'm trading today and the ones that I will continue to be trading with live on stream and behind the screen, check them out. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Top 1 futures, code RDF, going to get you the best deal. Lucid, code RDF, going to get you the best deal. Everybody that's running on the bottom of the screen right now that you see, or right here. Let me try to do it right here. Feel free to check them out. All the details in Discord as well, and a ton of info here on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Fun session. Awesome session. W. Another one I could have held longer. Just saying. Appreciate you guys for being here. Quick disclaimer, guys, before I wrap it up, since we did run pretty long, 2.5 hours today. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Trading is risky. Most traders lose money. If you trade, probably going to lose all your money. It's a crazy thing to do. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop from accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top 1 Futures, like Lucid, like Bookmap, and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to note that for you to do your own research and make your own trading decisions. Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow live. I'll see you in Discord. I will see you on socials. Talk to you guys soon.